Disha, in no uncertain terms, Donald Trump has said that he wants this ceasefire that he's brokered. He's hoping to get a Nobel for it. He wants that this ceasefire should hold. And for that, Israel needs to hold its fire back. And that's what some of the reports are indicating that might just take place.
Absolutely. Even taking to Truth Social just minutes ago, he said that all Israeli planes are now heading back. There will not be any Israeli strikes on Iran, and the fact that the ceasefire is still in effect. So this is the big development now. Donald Trump taking to Truth Social. Just minutes ago, we heard him in a soundbite saying that he's very unhappy with Israel, very unhappy with Iran, really reprimanding Israel in very harsh terms not to drop any bombs on Iran, and the fact that it was the Israeli strikes earlier today which first violated the ceasefire, followed by the Iranian strikes. Now really making it clear that he has spoken to Netanyahu according to certain reports and has demanded that all planes turn back to Israel and that no strike is taken place on Iran. But we are also seeing certain reports indicating that Netanyahu has agreed to some sort of symbolic strike, symbolic retaliation on Iran, but it is not yet understood when that would take place and what it would even look like. But Trump really making it clear he's heading to NATO at the moment in Hague, where in a sense it was expected that he was going to in a sense take a victory lap and really show off the fact that he was able to bring peace to the Middle East. But then the developments that took place within hours after the truce and the alleged violations of the ceasefire, he has now made it clear that no, the ceasefire is still in effect despite these violations.
The ceasefire, the agreement that Donald Trump brokered, for which, as I said, he's hoping to get a Nobel Peace Prize for, he wants that agreement to stay. It has been violated earlier by Iran. That's what Israelis have said, something that Iranians have contradicted, saying that they did not fire any missile strike after the ceasefire went into operation. The moment the ceasefire came into being, they said not a single shot has been fired from their side on Israeli strikes, on any of the Israeli cities, even as the Israeli Prime Minister has vowed retaliation. Now, Disha, this is extremely important because it means that the ceasefire may just hold. That's what it seems like, because if Donald Trump has been able to convince the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to not fire any attacks, whether they are retaliatory or nature or not, that's being disputed. But if he has been able to convince Netanyahu not to fire any strikes on Iran, it means that the ceasefire may just hold true. It may just be.
Absolutely, because it really indicates that Israel and the Israeli leadership is taking a step back. This just comes as Donald Trump said that Israel needs to calm down, it must calm down. They're now really taking a step back and saying that they will not, even if they do retaliate in any way, it's going to be more symbolic and not in the extent that was being planned earlier, where major targets were allegedly going to be struck by Israel. So now, after US President Donald Trump's reported call with Netanyahu, really making it clear, because there's not just for Israel and Iran, there's a lot at stake for the US President as well, because he's heading to the NATO summit just days after US the airstrikes on those Iranian nuclear sites, and really essentially meaning that US has entered that war with Israel and Iran. But he's also seeing a lot of backlash back home in US, where both Democrats as well as his really unified voter base, the MAGA voter base, really hitting out at him, saying that it is a betrayal with the US entering another war. So there's a lot at stake for the president as well.
Hold your thought there and stay with us, because viewers tuning in right now, I want to just put this in context and also explain, if you're tuning in right now, what has happened is in the last couple of hours, it seemed like the ceasefire is not going to hold simply because there were strikes coming in from the Iranian side, and Israel had very strongly said, its defense minister had said that we are going to strike back, which essentially meant that the ceasefire ceased to exist. But now update coming in is Donald Trump has said in no uncertain terms, he's spoken to the Israeli Prime Minister saying that you've got to hold back. this cannot continue anymore and you will not fire back. That's what the message essentially is. And on your screens are those breaking inputs coming in. I'm paraphrasing what Donald Trump said. He's just put that out on his social media platform. And as we speak, I want to also now play out some of the sound bites of Donald Trump. Stay with us, Disha. I want to revisit the story in complete detail and tell our viewers the context that's in which this is significant. I want to play out some of those sound bites of Donald Trump. He spoke to the media just before he's to reach at the NATO summit, where he said in no uncertain terms that the ceasefire has to hold good and he will not allow any strikes whatsoever to go on from here. Let's play out some of those sound bites of Donald Trump.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
All right, those were the sound bites of Donald Trump, where he said that he's not happy with Israel. He's not happy with any posturing that indicates that there may be fresh strikes that may put the ceasefire agreement in jeopardy. Now, Disha, this essentially means that the painfully brokered agreement between Iran and Israel, which many thought is unlikely to survive, may just do. And how is that likely to now reshape the region? Because it really will.
Absolutely. So now, if Israel does, as we are understanding after US President Donald Trump held that call with Netanyahu, if Israel really takes that step back, even if there's some sort of symbolic strike on Iran, it does signal that there is a little bit of a de-escalation, because Iran has also indicated that if Israel stops its strikes on Iran, on Tehran, they will also take a step back and they will come to the table. And that does signal that, in a sense, both sides are calming down. We will have to see. The next couple of hours are going to be crucial to see what Israeli retaliation we see. But if it is really symbolic and both sides come to the table, it does signal a win for US President Donald Trump, meaning that both sides are now going to come to the table, agree to some sort of conditions for this truce, and it could even mean the end of what US President Donald Trump termed it as the 12-day war, and saying that if this truce lasts 24 hours, it means an end of this war, which is what his previous statement when he announced the truce said. So it's going to be interesting. We're also seeing at the same time Gulf and Arab leaders meeting in Doha today to discuss this recent escalation of tensions with Iran, Israel, as well as the US now entering this war. So they are also preparing to understand how to de-escalate the situation. We're also seeing many leaders from the West, France, saying that Iran needs to come to the table. So it's going to be interesting couple of days to see what sort of agreement is even reached, if that truce even lasts. And in terms of Iran's nuclear capabilities, which US President Donald Trump has made clear that Iran will not be able to build back its nuclear program, it is yet to be seen, because there are reports which have said that even before the American strikes, because they were in a sense expected, Iran was able to move a lot of its nuclear material, its centrifuges away from the sites. So it's going to be interesting.
Disha, that's an important point that you're raising in terms of how much damage has actually been done from the American strikes. And there is a divided opinion on that.